Good morning. Let's try this one more time. Good morning, church. There we go. That is more like it. My name is Javon, and I'm your music director. My pronouns are she and her. I'm so glad to be joined today by Julie Homey on piano, Laura Zucker on guitar, and song leader, and our wonderful Chalice Choir this morning. And we today are going to start our service by singing a song that has lyrics based on scripture and a poem by Luis Rosales. The song is a guide for all of those who are going through difficult times. So please rise in body or in spirit as we sing De Noche Iremos from the Taizé tradition, hymn number 11 in our purple hymnal, if you'd like to join us. De noche iremos, de noche, sin luna iremos, sin luna, que para encontrar la fuente, solo la sed nos alumbra. De noche iremos, de noche, sin luna iremos, sin luna, que para encontrar la fuente, solo la sed nos alumbra. De noche iremos, de noche, sin luna iremos, sin luna, que para encontrar la fuente, solo la sed nos alumbra. De noche iremos, de noche, sin luna iremos, sin luna, que para encontrar la fuente, solo la sed nos alumbra.
Good morning. Welcome to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Leslie Takahashi, and my pronouns are she and her. And we're so glad to have folks gathering today on this incredibly beautiful day when we have this very special service to honor our ancestors in many different ways. And we're really glad that you're here. If you're here in our sanctuary or online joining us, a special welcome. We've got some folks who we don't see all the time here with us today. We're really grateful for that. Some folks that are back after a long absence, and some folks who are here for the first time. We are so grateful that you are here. And if you're in the last category and you'd like to hear more from us, we hope you'll visit our visitors table either in the hall after the service or online, our visitors card, because we really want to be able to keep in touch and let you know some of the things that we are doing. And today is an important day after the service because we're going to have our little Halloween gathering in the Borton Hall this year with some activities and treats. So we hope that you will join us for that after the service. I'm going to be doing a quick pivot over to my table where we're going to be decorating cookies. So there you go. So we're really grateful for that. And I want to also just remind you that each week, those of you who are on our email list, we do have an email called This Week at MDUUC, and you'll see the activities coming up for this week. I want to mention specifically that Reverend Rodney is doing a program called Reclaiming Our Stories, which is a look at our LGBTQ history on Wednesday night, and it's virtual, right? It's a virtual program, so wanted to mention that one. And also that next week we're having a event in the spirit of our mutual aid. Reverend Rodney is going to teach us all to pickle. Those of you that didn't get to do this with him before. So that's next Saturday. Come prepared to pickle afterward. That will be great. So thank you. And we also have next Saturday a service for our member Susan Ruano, which will be in our chapel and memorial garden area. So invite you to also hold that in your heart. We are grateful to have you here. Welcome to this beloved community.
Good morning. I'm Mark Chase. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees, and my pronouns are he and him. Welcome to our service. We begin our services by reading our mission together. We bring to life our Unitarian Universalist values as we seek truth and work for justice, nurture compassion and courage, reach out to each other and to our larger community of faith, bridge the divisions that wound the human family, transform ourselves and our world. This community is self-supporting. Our donations of time, talent, and treasure fuel all we do here. Please save the date for our annual Bid for Love auction, which is November 8th. This is our largest fundraiser of the year and a great chance to meet people. Emphasis on the word fun. We are especially in need of donation of events and services for this event, which helps provide necessary support for this year's budget. At a time when we are all working to be sanctuary for one another, let's make this the best Bid for Love ever. Also, please mark your calendar for a chance to work together towards our dreams for this sanctuary congregation November 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And stay tuned for more details on that. And welcome. It's good to be together.
I think one of the things about when we honor those who aren't with us, we are more grateful for those who are and for the times we have to share with one another. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to exchange greetings in that spirit and be grateful to being the ability to be together. And before I do so, I need to say that because of the nature of our service, we don't have spoken joys and sorrows today. So I want to read one that needs to be done in a timely manner. It's from Patty Purvis Thielman. After 6.5 years, I recently resigned from my position at the Trinity Center. The time has come for me to move to the townhome I purchased in Sacramento 8 years ago, just in case I ever retired. Well, it seems that time has come, and I'll be moving to Sacramento at the end of this month. I will miss all of you in my beloved community, and thank you all for the love and support you've given me these past 17 years. And in the spirit of just appreciating the connections we have, let us now exchange greetings.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Good morning. This is Nova. Nova's going to help us light the chalice today. I'd like to invite you to join us in saying the words on the screen. We are Unitarian Universalists, people with open minds, listening ears, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Okay. Hello, my name is Crystal Cardenas Lotznizer. I use she, them pronouns, and I welcome all of you. Thank you so much for coming. I was asked to talk a little bit about Dia de Muertos, which is a really special thing for me because my family is from Michoacán, which is one of the in Mexico, central Mexico, where the Dia de Muertos originated. But I wasn't always connected to that. When I was 8, 9, my mom had me live in Mexico to learn Spanish, and when I found out that there was no Halloween. What do you mean there's no Halloween? I want my money back. I kind of freaked out a little bit, and I was told, it's okay, Cristal. We have Dia de Muertos. Cool. Day of Dead People? No, thank you. I didn't quite understand, and I will admit my first Dia de Muertos was a flop because I had my my abuelo fly me back to the United States so I could properly be a pink bunny in a leotard and for Halloween. And it would take years later for me to get a chance to understand Dia de Muertos, and that we have been kind of separated from that knowledge, and it gives me a chance to reconnect to my ancestors there. And so one of the things that's really beautiful for Dia de Muertos is it's a day of remembrance. I think a lot of people think it's the scary thing, kind of like I did, and but it's not. It's across cultures is a day of remembrance and celebration that the people who were with us are still with us, and it's a chance in indigenous understanding of the afterlife, at least from the Aztec and Purepecha, is that the afterlife is more of a journey that is a long, arduous journey, and it takes about 4 years to get to the final space of peace. And it's not a purgatory thing; it's just a place to find peace. And it was thought that our altars is to give them a chance to get their water, get a chance to eat their favorite foods, for us to remember them on their journey to that peace. And one really important thing was it was thought that the monarchs also happened to, around November 2nd, happen en masse by the millions to fly into Michoacan. And it was thought that they carried the almas, the souls of our ancestors. And just like they make those journeys, it's important for us to know that humans also this is a symbol of connecting our underworld or our afterlife to our current, but also cross borders. Monarchs traveled thousands of miles from Canada to Michoacan, but really it was just the land that was here before the borders were. And people used to do the same thing. We migrate as well. Some people call it snowbirding. But if you have different documents, it might be called immigration. And so this is a chance for us to remember to make safe passage, not only just like for the monarchs who are having a hard time making safe passage, but for other individuals making safe passage on our land. And so I wanted to invite you all in order to light that passage and make it a safe journey, you guys can each take a candle and put it onto the altar so that we can light that safe passage here and continue on. So you guys could pass that on, turn that on, put it on the altar. And am I inviting them out, or I will let you invite them out?
Once you have your LED and you light it, let's set it on the altar as we head out to our classes. And I'd like to invite the congregation to sing our children and youth out.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
Good morning. Also today, in order for all of us to celebrate this important day of remembrance, we have pillars on the right-hand side, my right-hand side of the sanctuary. And today, during the offertory, when you come up to light a candle or drop a stone, we'll welcome you to write the name of a lost loved one on the hearts, and you can leave those on the offerenda as well. So our Unitarian Universalist ancestors believed that all souls would be reconciled with the divine. And it's that kind of love, the power that it holds, that unites us across the boundaries of death and life. I found in my little bit of research on the original Universalists a minister who I did not know of before, whose name was Elbridge Jerry Brooks. And I really liked one of the quotes I found from his writings. He says, "Our work as Universalists is not simply to sow seeds, but to cultivate harvests." Now, I interpret this to mean that we need to be less focused on the mysteries of what comes after this life and more on the profound question of how we live right now. How are we learning from each other? How are we touching the world around us? How might we be remembered by those whose lives we brush up against? The love at the center of our faith, to me, points to a belief that all are redeemable, including ourselves. It would be easy for me to reflect that I learned this theology in seminary or out of a book somewhere. However, it wouldn't be the whole truth. I experienced this reflection of unabashed love, not from books or sermons, but from my maternal grandparents. My grandfather, a Baptist deacon, and my grandmother, the church treasurer, always spoke of a faith that opened doors rather than shutting them. All faiths have Christians, they would say, by which they meant there were good people everywhere, all seeking a bit of that same light, all trying to live in the world with some love. This was their universalism, unpolished by seminary language and muddled in the conservative Christian language of their faith, but no less accurate. My grandfather worked the oil fields, and sometimes I would go with him into those wide open spaces with what seemed like enormous machines of industry. I remember watching his hands steady and sure, completing every task with the kind of attention that said that this work mattered. He often encouraged me to do my childhood chores with the same integrity, urging me to leave things a little better than I found them. I usually received this wisdom over egg salad sandwiches and my favorite childhood dessert, the honey bun. Has anyone had a honey bun? Oh my Lord, you all need to go get yourself a honey bun after service today. That was 3 people. My grandmother prepared those sandwiches with the same love and kindness as she did for our Sunday dinners that we had with our extended family. When she cooked, I would watch and learn. I listened to her stories about her life and philosophy of living. Her kitchen was my sanctuary, where I felt completely seen and accepted. We didn't really speak of my queerness directly until much later in life, but she never made me feel different or less than as I watched her in those moments while wearing my cousin's purple girl galoshes. Through her, I learned that feeding people could be an expression of faith. She taught me that how we care for one another in this world is the only sermon we need to preach. My grandparents may have gone from this world, but celebrations like today's All Souls remind me that they live on in my memory and my muscles. When I cook a meal for people, I remember her. When I complete a difficult task at work, pushing through to the end with attention and care, I remember him. They are not gone. They live in my hands, in my choices, in the love I choose to extend to others. We do not gather today to worry about where our beloveds have gone. We gather to celebrate where they remain, here with us, among us, moving through us still. We are blessed to be a multi-ethnic congregation and received the blessing of the Mexican culture in the form of this ofrenda before us, not to reach backward into death, but to pull forward the best of what they gave us into this living moment. So come, speak the names of your loved ones, tell their stories, cook their recipes, take up the work they began. Try to be the love they showed. Live in such a way that when our own names are spoken at future gatherings such as this, those who remain will say, yes, they knew how to love. Yes, they understood what mattered. Yes, they are still here, teaching us how to live. Welcome to this celebration of All Souls, the feast of memory and present, this gathering of the living and the loved. Come, let us and our ancestors worship together.
Our congregational hymn today is Carry Me, which was written during a time of personal loss in the life of the composer, during which he was seeking courage and a source of strength from within. Please rise in body as we sing one of our new songs from our hymnal, Sing Out Love. Please rise. Oh, my heart, carry me through this world of dark and light. In my grief, let me heal, grant me peace. In my joy, let me soar as a hawk in azure sky. Healing heart, my ever friend, carry me. Soul friend, may you find in my eyes compassion. May I be listening ears to truly hear. When you fall, let me feel in the hands so you can rise. Let my heart encourage yours. Our hearts will carry us. Gentle friend, let me sing melodies to give you wings. May you find soft green hills to give you rest. May you be full of strength like a mountain still and free. Wise heart, illumine us like stars upon the sea.
We are taking some time in this service, which honors those who have gone before us, to death, to honor the lives of those lost in one of the struggles of our times. We've been asked by coalition leaders who are working to end the taking of lives through ICE detention, to hold those whose lives we have lost this year. We've been asked that in services that honor Dia de Muertos this year, we take a bit of time to also see their names and recognize their humanity. These precious humans are also loved and missed and grieved. This week, when so many of our neighbors have been affected by the threats and the violence against them, people of all kinds of targeted identities, we create this time to take note and honor.
We honor those who died in the crossing, in the desert, in the dangerous passage made necessary by the lack of a legal path for citizenship.
We honor those who died in detention.
We honor those who have been disappeared and whose loved ones face the ambiguous loss of not knowing where they are.
We honor those who died in the struggle of trying to defend against the growing incursions against immigrants, including one of our own Bay Area neighbors this week.
We do not have all of their names, and yet let us pause in witness to the names that we do have.
As witnesses to these truths, to the beauty of these lives, may our grief become resolve to love our neighbors, as our religious traditions have bid us year after year, century after century. And may these losses not go unmourned, and may they fuel our resolve to end the taking of life in these ways. Amen.
Dr. Isai Barnwell wrote this song for a choir that she started at All Souls UU Church in Washington, D.C., and it was a choir that she taught in the tradition of the Black church, so she taught all of the songs orally. For our meditation song today, I'm going to ask that you remain seated as we sing Breaths. Voices
I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer, that deep ask that goes beyond our own resources. Spirit of life, though it may seem odd to summon you here in this annual celebration of those who we have lost before us to death, we invite you into this space especially because of our deep gratitude for the ways that the lives of those whom we have lost continue to move around these spaces with us, the many things that they loved, that they have left for us to continue and to care for, the many passions they have instilled in our own hearts, including passions for joy, passions for fun, passions for certain people, and also a passion for justice. We are grateful today to be in the presence of so much abundance, so many good people, not only from our own personal stories and bloodlines, but also from our own chosen families, from our own congregational family, all of those who have given so much that we might be here today. So in this service, which is a service of great joy, we know that we will also be able to hold our sorrows, and especially to hold the sorrows of those who have more recently had the veil lifted between this world and the other, and had their beloved taken to the other side. Let us, who believe in the immortality of our deeds here on this earth, celebrate the many gifts that allow us to be here today as a community in covenant, honoring freedom and honoring the preciousness and worthiness of each life. That is the spirit of welcome we extend today, and we pray, our deep ask, we pray, is that we can continue to carry it into our days beyond this service. May we be the ones to make it so.
Welcome, fellow travelers. My name is Kevin Shea. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. Well, I kind of know the destination, but I don't know the route. We'll see how this goes. Part of MDUUC is allowing us to set our burdens down. So I've been hiking a little bit, and I'm going to set this physical burden down. Let's see here. Work on that, work on that. There's a buckle here. Okay. But they're not just physical burdens, they're also the spiritual burdens. That's a lot of what today's about, isn't it? Beautiful altar, the music. Sometimes we come in with heavy hearts. And we all travel together. Even when we think we're solo, we travel together, right? We do not make and maintain all the paths, cook and grow our own food, make our gear. We have travelers with us, maybe for a short while, maybe for a long while, 17 years. I had the privilege of traveling with Patty's children before I met her. They were teenagers, okay, sort of children. But, and for some of us, MDUC is sort of like a base camp. We come, we go off, we come back maybe years later. Some of us are just like day hikers and we're here every single Sunday. But that's okay because it's community. And maybe the exact composition who are here isn't the same every time, but we're all traveling together on our spiritual journeys. And that's what makes this so special and so beautiful. And afterwards, we have gifts. This was a gift that I borrowed from the church and will return after service when I can get back in. But now the ushers will come forward to receive our offerings. And if you're online or in the pews and wish to give online, go to mduuc.org and click on the yellow Give Now button. Thank you, Julie, for the beautiful music. Now, now, if you'll please join me in the dedication of the offering, the words will be up on the screen. To the work of this community in transforming ourselves and our world, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
It is the custom in this congregation, when we lose a member to death, that we light a candle from our chalice. And I'm lighting this candle today to honor Doris Baltso, who many of us knew as Deb, who died this week at age 97, and who also has been a member of this congregation since 1957. She was our longest-serving congregant until her death this week. We honor her son, Dan, and also the legacy of her life partner, Andy Baltso, who is also an integral member of this congregation. But Deb's presence has been in the front row of our choir for many decades. And we will be celebrating her life with a service here. Most likely in December, we will announce that. But for today, I just invite us to remember the determined, talented, beautiful person who we have been so blessed to know for decades, Doris Deb Baltso. In a moment, we will begin our procession, and I'm going to ask our president, Linda Russell, to carry the first candle down. It will be in honor of Deb when we begin. I'm also going to invite all of those who have sent in a picture or a name to go to the back where Reverend Rodney will help you to carry a candle in this procession. And I want to also honor today also the memory of Lolly Miller Branda, who died just the week of this particular service last year. So she is, her daughter is here, Rana, to carry the second candle in our procession today. So we will honor her as well. So each year we take some time to honor those who are particularly feeling the connection with those they have lost this year. And I'm going to invite those, we will first honor those we have lost from our community, the others who have sent in pictures, and then anyone else who would like to process, feel free to do so. We might run out of candles, but that is not a bad thing. Let us now begin our honoring of all these blessed souls.
There's another hole in the world tonight. There's another star in the sky. You will live forever inside my heart. So I'll say good night, not goodbye. Good night, good night. Good night, sweet friend, good night. Life is a magical, mystical thing. We don't know just what we've been given, but each Each day we wake up, we get up and take up this delicate business of living. We open our senses, our arms and our hearts. We welcome our family and friends. Some chances, some wonder, some sun and some thunder, knowing we won't get this life again. There's another hole in the world tonight. There's another star in the sky. You will live forever inside my heart. So I'll say good night, not goodbye. Good night, good night. Good night, sweet friend, good night. Here's to living a life overflowing. Your spirit will guide us wherever we go. But there's another hole in the world tonight, another star in the sky. You will live forever inside our hearts. We'll say good night, not goodbye. Good night, good night. Good night, sweet friends, good night. There's another hole in the world tonight, another star in the sky. You will live forever inside our hearts. So we'll say good night, not goodbye. Good night, good night. Good night, sweet friends, good night. Good night, sweet friends, good night.
What a beautiful display. What an amazing collection of beings. And so much joy and so much sorrow held together in this place. And what I want to say to all of you today is that I'm grateful that you are here. Our numbers are thinner for this service than they've been for any service for a long time. But I'm grateful for each one of you being here today, because I know that in this time when we're holding so much that is difficult, it can feel hard to hold this kind of grief as well, but it is also a holding of joy. So I honor each of you for being here today. And I'm going to get my notes. I'm honoring myself as well in this world. Can we just take a moment and be grateful for the music that we have received? Especially, I want to thank Laura Zucker, who did that song as a special request from me, and the choir as well. Thank you all. This is a time in which it is so important to be able to recognize all that we are holding And one of the things that I appreciate about this service is that for me, it is not a giving out of energy, it is a taking in of gifts. To be reminded that we do not travel alone and that we are surrounded by this great cloud of witnesses in this particular time seems to me to be a great gift. And I say that knowing that there are people among us for whom the journey of grief is very new. And in those moments, it does not feel as much as if you can access necessarily the parts of it that are joyful and life-giving. But we know, those of us who are further on those paths, that they will come as well. They will come, and they are here as well. So I'm grateful to all of us for being here to witness this. Now, one of the frequent moments for laughter in the grief group, and yes, we do laugh in the grief group, just to be clear, is when somebody admits how many times a day they talk to their beloved dead. And somebody else says, "Oh, I thought I was the only one that did that." And then they start sharing stories. And then pretty soon, it's getting kind of silly, and then they're laughing. And that's one of the wonderful things that happens. Because it happens with a great deal of regularity, that there are people who it's not just once a year when the veil is thin that they speak to their beloved dead, but kind of like once an hour or even more. They're just ongoing talking and walking there on that. So it's a fun thing. You know, in every tradition, especially those traditions that are deeply tied to the longest roots, the indigenous traditions of cultures across the globe, the honoring of our ancestors and the ongoing relationship with our ancestors is a critical part of that tradition, which is why I'm so grateful to Crystal for being willing to bring us from her tradition, Dia de Muertos. But this is an important piece, yes, and we didn't really get to thank Crystal, so I appreciate that. Thank you. So it's very important that we take the time in our own ways to acknowledge that we have people who have come before, and that in the whole history of humanity, there are people who have experienced life and death and hardship and loss, and that they travel with us. They travel with us even in times that are very, very difficult. And this year, as we think about these traditions and those traditions through the cycle of the year, but particularly Samhain in the Celtic tradition right now, which is mixed with the spirit of Halloween, in addition to the other traditions, this is a time to acknowledge our delicate and tricky relationship with immortality. And it's particularly challenging for us, I would say, in our tradition. We have, and I know this from sitting with many people before and after death over the years here, we have people with many beliefs about what happens after death. But here's one thing that I think we have as a commonality. Our belief in immortality isn't about another life. It's about the seeds that we plant in this life and the legacies that are given to us and the legacies that we carry forward. And in that sense, this is such an important celebration each year in our tradition, because we honor the legacies that have been left to us. And it gives us also a chance to think about the legacies that we want to leave for others. I want to say, especially today, this particular year in 2025, that our ancestors are not just the people who are related to us by blood. They are the people who have been with us in the hard times. They are the people who have carried our life struggles with us. They are also sometimes people that we have never met, but who have inspired us, whose vision, whose leadership, whose life has offered a light for our light and our life. And we carry them as well today. So I think that it's important for us to remember that we have many ancestors here among us, including Bayard Ruskin, one of the leaders who was instrumental in moving forward the reality of both issues around race and issues around gay rights. And also leaders like Judy Heumann, who was considered the mother of the disabilities rights movement. And this is so important to think about in these times. We can think about and name so many others, but I want us to remember that these are also who we honor in this service. We honor our spiritual ancestors as well, and we recognize that their truths, their wisdoms, and their journeys inform our journeys as we carry on through this time of 2025. So let's take one more moment together just to take a breath and to feel in the stillness how many are with us and what a good company it is. May their dreams be ours to carry.
For our closing song today, we are singing For All That Is Our Life, which was a song that was composed the music was written 24 hours after the musician heard the words of British Unitarian Bruce Findlow's words, and he was so moved that he wrote this song the next day. So please rise in body and our spirit as we sing For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
And as we close this service, I invite us to look at the light of our chalice, remembering that this is the flame that we carry forward from this place, just as those who went before us carried it forward so that we might be here today. And we close with the words of Bayard Rustin. God does not require us to achieve any of the good tasks that humanity must pursue. What God requires of us is that we not stop trying. Thank you, ancestor. Thank you all.